So it is Antiga Shipyard, and down at the bottom half of the map, by the way, I chose Zenio to win, in case we didn't go ahead and get that out there. At the bottom half of the map, it is Liquid Zenio spawning as the Teal Zerg, and up at 12 o'clock, or maybe 11:30, MTW TT1. And yeah, Zenio has, like you said, a very unorthodox style of ZVP, and sometimes it is fantastic. Other times it's just like, what the hell are you doing, Zenio?
Yeah. But he makes it work most of the time, and that's of course the most important thing. TT1, just small trivia. TT1, of course, a former Brood War player. Something that not many people know is that Zenio is a former Warcraft 3 player. A lot of people have are not aware of that. It's kind of surprising to me that Zenio did so well. Out of all the guys that I know, all the Koreans that I knew from Warcraft 3, Zenio was not really one of those guys that popped into my mind as like, hey man, this guy's gonna make Code S. If anything, you know, guys like Lin and Moon, like the absolute superstars, or just other players, Remind, Lucifer, Soju, all those guys, they were much bigger names than Zenio. Even Violet was a much bigger name than Zenio. But yeah, Zenio has had a pretty good run so far in StarCraft 2, man. He's been a popular player, made
he's
it
been
to Code
doing
S.
well. Picked up by Team Liquid,
Yeah,
and of course
that helps.
it does help quite a bit. He does have his natural blocked right now, TT1 just being as annoying as can be. Dropping that pylon there. Pro even going to do some harassing on that drone. But the Lings are about to pop out, and that should mean expansion time.
Very economic opening here by TT1, going for Nexus first, then Forge, and then Pylon. It would be super crazy if he goes Gate before Cannon.
Oh, TT1.
And drop the Gate as well, delaying that expense so much. I love this style actually, I think this is very smart. What I do not understand from Zenio is, Zenio, why did you just not expand over here? What's stopping you? What's the difference?
Well,
there is no difference, man. Don't try to defend it.
well, the only thing that I would say is that Zenio is a guy that often doesn't really take that fast third base.
No, that's true. He likes to stay on two bases for a
so
while.
that if anything, that might be part of the reason, but he is saving money. He still hasn't taken gas, so I do think we will see a third base out of him.
I think so too. So TT1 did go Cannon before Gate. He wasn't that super greedy. He has to worry, of course, about those Lings making their way over to the other side of the map. His cannon is up, but if they all three run by, he's still gonna get two Lings in the main base.
Yep.
No, TT1 warps in a Gate straight away.
He thought he was going to go for it.
He cancels it straight away, which I think is silly. You might as well let it run for a while, then cancel it and replace it with a Cybercore. Because now if Zenio goes for the run by, you have to do the same thing again.
And that's more money lost. More money, more problems, Kev.
No. I don't believe that. More money, less problems. Zenio is going for three bases after all, so I really don't understand why he delayed his natural hatch by so much. Do you have a logical explanation for this, Ben? Because I don't.
Maybe just keep TT1 guessing if there was any sort of explanation to wager. But TT1 does still have that scouting probe out on the map, and he will be able to pop over here and see that Zenio does indeed have a third base, which means that this is shaping up to be a pretty standard normal macro game.
Yep. Which also means, of course, that it's possible that TT1 is going for a two-base all-in, because we know that he loves that style against Zerg. Back in the days, TT1 had a ton of problems defending against Mutalisk. He really absolutely hated it. And we were joking a lot about this. Every single time that TT1 saw Mutalisk, it was like, red alert, abandoned ship. He would pull all probes and try to win the game. And then often lost in a base race scenario. But I think he's gotten a lot better against it. He's just getting a lot better at reading the matchup. And I think he improved a lot against Zerg. He's also very active right now. He also says that whenever University is on a break, that he has much more time to play, and then in general he performs a lot better. And I think that shows so far in his own results, man.
That's something that is so contrasting between foreign pros and Korean pros. It's like a foreign pro is a college student, and a Korean pro is a full-time gamer. Yep. I think that's one of the reasons why we have such separation at the top.
Yeah, of course, that only makes sense that there are a lot more Korean pros as well. If you have more time, you often get better at the game. But of course, that's not the only reason. Koreans are also very, very good at games.
They're also genetically superior.
Yes, that's another reason.
Zenio looking like he wants to play the most standard style imaginable. He's getting the Roach Warren, the Evo Chamber. This looks like a game of Stefano's, quite frankly.
Well, Stefano would have expanded a little bit quicker, but other than that, I do agree with you.
Yeah. A little bit of Zealot Stalker pressure coming down to this this third expansion, and this is going to be pretty effective.
Sorry, man.
Zergling's just chipping away at the Zealots, but there's just not enough on the map for Zenio right now. He's going to be forced to make some roaches. Might actually lose this queen.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pull drones for now, and the Stalker should actually be able to finish off the Queen, unless Zenio's gonna surround.
Run the Queen! Run the Queen, Zenio! What if the probe got the last hit?
Oh, no, the Stalker is actually gonna get the last hit, so he does pick up that Queen. And Zenio lost quite a bit of mining time, so that was worth it. And how you see this small poke more and more often right now. We have a pylon over here by TT1. TT1, how many games do we have? He has 4 games right now. +1 is almost ready, but there are quite a few roaches on the map now as well. But still, roaches off creep. TT1 should be able to out-micro with it.
TT1 also has Twilight Council, hasn't done anything with it yet. Hasn't started Blink, hasn't started +2.
I love because of that little poke of TT1. Zenio got like the best scout off in history. This Overlord has literally been above the base of him as in being TT1, for around 1 minute. He saw everything and now he's just making his way out of it again. That's not something we see every day either, man.
Yeah, it's great for Zenio though because he's so well informed. He's able to really prepare nicely. He should have seen TT1 backing back off, and that will in fact prompt one more drone before he goes into some Roach Zergling production. Now really, I don't think that attacking here is necessarily the best move. Maybe he just wants to check and make sure there's no third base.
Keeping a close eye. He's adding more and more gates though. I should probably mention.
Oh man, Zenio's just like seen everything except exactly where this pylon is outside of his third kill.
No,
he's like seen the area above it and he's seen the area below it, but he hasn't seen the pylon.
I thought actually he spotted that with his roach, which was standing over here, but I guess the roach wasn't close enough.
Everything except the pylon. TT1's follow-up is going to be some Blink Stalkers with Immortal support. That's very, very strong against roach-based armies.
66 pros for Zenio, but TT1 has so many probes, man, that almost gives me the feeling that he wants to drop a Nexus somewhere. He's on 60 probes on 2 base. I mean, that's like the ultimate 2 base all in.
He is sending out a probe, so... and clearing that third, so I think you're right. No, that probe's not going to expand at all. He was heading across the top half of the map.
It's not the first time we see TT1 expanding or all-inning with so many probes. All-inning is such a mean word, but yeah, this kind of all-in if he doesn't drop a third base. Zenio's adding that Hydralisk, and he has so many Zerglings as well, but Force Field should be more than fine.
No, he's just trying to darting in there, trying to bait some Force Fields. I do like that in his play. Hydroden is going to finish, and Zenio's got quite some money and plenty of supply room. Hydras and Zerglings are very good against this kind of army composition, but will the Hydras even be able to spawn is the real question.
Well, this actually looks scary, so I think TT1 is going to wait for quite a few warp ins. I think those Hydras will spawn, and I think Zenio is going to be more than fine with his Hydra Link composition.
Like this, Lings do manage to get out behind this force, so we can see a big flank. TT1 forced to blink backwards. Zenio being so patient with this.
Zenio is doing this so well right now. It's going to have 15 Hydralisk on the map soon, man. 15 Hydralisk. That's like a dream against his army.
There's an Immortal right there, Zenio. But he does not manage to grab it. But look at the supply, man, just ballooning up. 178 supply against 135. First Hydras are out. TT1 has to know that the time is fast approaching. He's going to have to make something happen. I love how patient Zenio is being, just sitting back and waiting and waiting and waiting. Not missing a single Overlord in the midst of all this pressure, playing so very well.
Keeping his money so low. Nice blink right there. He might actually finally be able to pick up this pylon.
Yes, he does. Cancels a lot of units as well.
There's another pylon though, but now all these Hydras, and there's Creeper as well. We do have an Observer. TT1 is adding a Robotics Bay. I think that's a smart decision, but I don't think TT1 is going to keep him alive that long.
Oh, Zenio has decided that it's time. He is going to rush out, and Zergling's getting in on top of the Zealot. Zealot's very well upgraded there. They're going to make short work of the Lings. Roach Hydra remains behind it. Yeah, great force fields.
Just fight now again, TT1. Drop some force fields and fight. That's exactly what he does. Oh, poor Hydra. Sad Hydra. Why can I go home? So very nice play by both players. First, Zenio buying so much time for himself with those links, and TT1 knows right now if he gets 1 or 2 Colossus on the field, man, that's all he needs. He's going to be in excellent shape. Are you chrono boosting that robotics facility, TT1? I hope you are. Yes, he is.
TT1's playing good. I really thought he was going to overextend and lose his whole army there, but instead he backs up at just the right time, disengaging from the fight. Zenio is going to make a big push forward here.
Just defensive force fields is all that TT1 needs. He needs to buy time for those
beautiful force fields.
That's what he does once more. I'm loving the play out of TT1. This is some really, really high-level play by
Canadian this is as well as I've ever seen him play against Zerg. And Zenio is still really trying to pick a fight, but TT1 just perfect positioning, great force fields. First Colossus is out. Zenio does not, I don't think he's got enough, Kev.
No, there are a lot of Hydras. The Colossus not really focusing. The big group is Hydras. A lot of Links streaming in, more force fields coming down. But the reinforcements, Zerglings, and that one
TT1.
Colossus. helping out so much.
TT1, man, I don't need no third base, says TT1 as he continues to make it happen. Immortals, Blinkstalkers, Colossi, and he's pushing forward, completely backing Zenio up. Zenio only has Zerglings on the map right now, Kev.
He's making 18 roaches though, and he's getting roach speed. He didn't have roach speed. I guess that's what you get when you invest a lot in those Hydras as well. You can't afford everything, of course, not even on 3 bases. But wow, that was so well played by TT1. I thought the exact same thing as you, Ben. I thought he's just going to try to win with 4 swoops, but then eventually the Hydras would be enough. But he knew when to get out of there. He dropped that Robo Bay in time. It was close, but he got the Colossus out in time, and now he's just in great shape.
Yeah, now he's dropping his third base. He's picked off a ton of Overlords, and he's going to be content to just back up. He knows that against the army composition of Zenio, he is in brilliant shape.
Look at the unit's lost resource step.
Oh my god. That's painful for me to look at. And everything about this game is favoring TT1. He's got +3 attack against +1 attack. No, +1 armor, 0 attack upgraded Zenio. +2 armor, just not finishing as soon as I say it.
If Zenio maxes out with Roach Corruptor, he actually has a chance because there are not that many Immortals. But right now, this army of TT1 is so scary, and it's so hard for Zenio to deal with this.
Yeah, there is no chance of Zenio ever maxing out. TT1 knows exactly the position he's in, blinking very, very well. Corruptor's not even able to kill a single Colossus. GG out of Zenio, and TT1 making PVZ look easy. That was impressive.
Well, I wouldn't say that looked easy. I think that looked pretty hard, but that was very well executed.
Making PVZ look
possible.
Possible? No, I wouldn't say that. But man, TT1. That was awesome.
That was some really great play.
Everything about it was pretty. Just pushed until he couldn't push anymore, fell back to good positions, picked good fights.
And I guess that's why it made sense that he went up to that many probes, that he still wanted to have at least something to somehow fall back on. If this would have been executed on 48 probes, there's no way he has money for Robotics Bay, then get a Colossus and then research Sturmlance. That's just way too expensive for low eco Protoss.
Let's take another look at how TT1 played that out with his perfect force fields.
Ah, why do I hear myself, man? I don't want to hear myself.
And now we've turned off Roti. Yeah, look at TT1 just brilliantly falls back, playing the War of Posts. I think that's the right term. And just not allowing Zenio to ever get that big engagement that Zerg wants. Never allowing Zenio to swarm that one poor Hydralisk.
This poor Hydra.
Looks like a lost puppy.
Well, actually, those 2 Hydras, both were kind of poor. I just saw them with the face like, okay, everybody's leaving. Okay.
What about me?
Okay. No, that was a great game by TT1. TT1, man. 2-1 in the league so far. If he wins today, he's going to be up 3-1.
Bossing it up.
And he's really joining the ranks of Puma and Stefano, and that's something to be very proud of.
That game was brought to you guys by Azo monitors. Those are the monitors we use here at the NASL to watch and broadcast and play StarCraft 2. You should get one of your own. Short commercial break, and then we're back with more StarCraft 2. TT1 versus Zenio Game 2 when we're back.